Good afternoon, everyone. It's Diana. We're going to do your Litmos training this afternoon. I'm going to wait literally just like one more minute. I think we have one or two more people joining us today, but I don't want to hold you up while we wait for some others. So just about one more minute. And I haven't brought the screen up yet to start the actual webinar. I'm going to do that right now. Hope everyone's having a good day. And in a minute, you should be able to see my screen. It's sometimes a little lag between the time I launch it and the time you see it. If anybody knows how to use the GoToWebinar that's on right now, can you do me just a favor and just raise your hand if you can hear me. I just want to make sure you can hear me. So if you can, if you know how to use GoToWebinar, just raise your hand. Excellent. Thanks, Zach. And also, can you let me know if you can also see my screen that says logging into your first course. If you could just raise your hand if you can see that screen. Great, we are all set then. Thanks everybody, thanks Zach, Lorna, whoever else has got their hand raised. Thank you very much. Okay, so what we're going to do today is I'll be happy to answer questions as we did yesterday's webinar. If you have a question, you can just type it into the question box by clicking on that little orange rectangle way up on the right with the white arrow and sliding it out and then typing it in the question box. I'll stop periodically and take questions. This is a very relaxed sort of training I'm going to do today. This just sets you up so you know how to use our learning management system. It also tells you about some required courses that you need to take if you're a NOAP coordinator. If you're a supervisor on the line and you want to do these courses, you absolutely can. I will send you credentials. If you would like, if you're a supervisor, just reach out to me and let me know you would like to take the courses. They normally go out just to the new NOAP coordinators. But again, if you're a supervisor and you'd like credentials, log in to take those courses or just review them and see what your NOAP coordinators are doing, just shoot me an email. And I will absolutely make sure you have credentials as well for the online learning system, which is called Litmos. Okay, so let's begin. So first of all, I'm just going to take and talk to you a little bit about Litmos. So I'm going to go over here and talk to you a little bit about Litmos, what it is, and what we use it for. So Litmos is the learning management tool that we use in order to deliver our online learnings. It's not something we use or we control. It is a platform that we use. Just like we use GoToWebinar to deliver our webinars, we use Litmos to manage our online learning. It's a place where we can upload courses that I create, as well as places where you can access them and I can administer those courses. So that's what Litmos is. An online learning management tool. The first thing I'm going to show you is, I'm going to go back over to our PowerPoint here. When you log into your first course at Litmos, what will happen is you'll receive a couple of emails when I set you up for Litmos. And what will happen is you will get a couple of emails that look very much like this. It'll say Hunger Solutions, you're invited to a course online, and you'll have login information. You can click on either one of those and it's going to take you into your first experience with Litmos. And what will happen is when you get in there, you're going to see in your email, actually, I jumped ahead there a little bit. In your email, you're going to see something called your username. Okay, and I will set that up for you. It will be, just so you know, your first initial and last name. If there's two people in the system who have the first initial and last name, there might be something a little bit different after that, like a 1 or a 2, for example. So make sure you write down your username. If you should lose your username, just reach out to me, and I will let you know what that is again. But you want to write down your username someplace safe, someplace you'll remember that. And you will click on either one of those links to log in. When you do, you're going to be asked for a little information. All right? You're going to be asked for a little information. One of which is it will ask you to create your own password. You manage your password. I can always reset it for you if you need to, but you can actually reset your own password. So if you have any problem doing that, if you forget your password, you can't remember where you wrote it down, and please write it down. That's the best thing to do. Just reach out to me, and I can reset your password for you. That's not a big deal. That's easy to do, but the great thing is you can manage your own password. So if you do forget, that's okay. Just reach out to me. It's also going to actually ask you to enter a little bit more information. And that information will ask you, for example, the name of your contract manager, the county or borough you serve, your title, and your work phone. It's not going to ask for a lot, but there are a few things we ask you to input. So I have that information right in Litmos to help me get in touch with you quickly. Not that we don't have ways to do that here at Hunger Solutions, but it also helps distinguish one person from the other, etc. Okay, so ask you for a little information. If you fill it out and you missed anything, you're going to get a little message from Litmos that says, please fill this out, or please fill this out where you missed something. And for example, your password, confirming it, your contract manager, your borough, your title, or your work phone. And when it says title, if your title is not NOAP coordinator, NOAP coordinator, it's something else, please put NOAP coordinator or NOAP supervisor in there, just so I know that you're a coordinator or a supervisor, and then also list out your title as it exists in your agency too. If you will do that for me, please, that would be great. So when you log in, this is what will happen. You'll get the emails, you click on it, you'll enter a little information, and that will set you up to start taking your courses. From there, we are going to go and look at Litmos. Now, this is what I see. I have a lot of information, but I'll show you what you see. This is called the Learner View. When you log in, this is the first thing you're going to see. It's your home page. And you'll see it says, continue to my dashboard. This little message will come up every time unless you uncheck this box. Now, if you want this little message to come up, that's fine. It tells you if you have any issues, contact training at hungersolutionsny.org. That's me, by the way. So you can use the training, or you can contact me personally. But the training at Hunger Solutions New York is the official email address we use for Litmos. But if you reach out to me, certainly with my own email, I will get that, obviously, also. If you don't want to see this every time, you can uncheck that, and you won't see this initial message. This is your home page. Your home page, I'm going to start at the top. It'll say welcome and your name. It'll show home, course library, achievements, live sessions, and instructor. Right off the bat, you don't have to worry about these two, live sessions and instructor. We aren't using those at this point. Maybe at some point in the future, this is an integration with GoToWebinar, but at this point, we really don't use these right now. So you don't even have to worry about those last two. Home is this home page. This is where you'll work from. On your home page, you'll see across to do, overdue, completed, and how many weeks you have logged in. To do will show courses that you have to do, overdue, and completed. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give you some courses, that are required. We decided a while ago at Hunger Solutions to have some courses online that are required. Some will have information that's a little bit familiar to you, hopefully, based, for example, on the NOAP 101 or on the data collection and reporting and outreach approval that we went over to some extent in the last few days and last week. Others might be rather new. There is a course on senior nutrition. There's a course on child nutrition. And then there's also one on the budget calculator, which Colleen showed you last week in your training, but we have a course on that as well. So you'll have a handful of required courses. This is, pretty important information I'm going to give you right now. Well, it's not technical information. What it is something that I think it's super, super important. It's based on the experience that I've had so far with our NOAP coordinators who are using the online learning. In each of the modules, and we'll walk through a module, there are quizzes. And you have to pass those quizzes to complete the module and to complete the training. I have found that some people, because they have some knowledge, they've been on the job a little while, or they took the NOAP 101, for example, they race through and they end up failing the quizzes. Please take your time with the courses. Please take your time with the quizzes. Why I say that is because, and again, hear me out, this is not meant to be punitive in any way. When you take the courses, you do your quizzes, you have 2 attempts to complete the quizzes, and if you fail after 2 attempts, it locks you out. And then what I do is I need to engage with your supervisor and say, well, Jane failed 3 modules. And so you might want to reach out to Jane and talk to her about these 3 modules because maybe she's struggling a little bit in those areas. You might want to have that conversation. It's not punitive. It's not even corrective so much as it is. Let's make sure you know the information that's in the modules, it's in your trainings, so that you're starting out on a level playing field with everybody else. You've got the correct info right away. You can ask questions, talk to your contract manager about that. So I will have those conversations with your contract manager just to let them know how you did. But again, not punitive. This is not, looking over your shoulder. We just want you to have extra information, good information, and the correct information from the get-go. But take your time with the quizzes. You can stop and start them. Litmos will take you right back to where you were in your modules, back to the same page. So please take your time. Quizzes are meant to make you think. They're not always really easy. They're meant to make you think a little bit about the information you just learned. And so I can't stress enough that this is not something that we do to trick you in any way. I wrote these, so trust me, there are no trick questions or anything like that. I do not believe in that in any way, shape, or form, but I just want you to take your time and do your best job. And if you do have some struggle, that's why we're here, just like we talked about in the in-person training, to give you a hand and get you some correct answers. That's absolutely why we're all here. All right? Okay. I don't see any questions right now. If you do have a question, type it in at any time, and I will answer that as soon as I possibly can. I'll check periodically for questions. Now let's look at your Litmos dashboard, this home page, in depth. Where you'll find all your courses is in your course library. That's the place to check for your courses. I'm going to go there right now. And as you'll see, there are courses listed. Now, some of these will be required. There's also, at this point, I think there's one that is SNAP outreach to rural households. That's an optional. You need not take it, but it's there if you'd like to. We'll add some more additional courses that are optional later on. But you'll be taking the budget calculator, and NOAP Online, and this will all be in an email to you. But the budget calculator, Child Nutrition 101, data collection and reporting. Litmos you need not take. It's pretty much a repeat of what we're doing right now, so that is optional. But if you have any questions about Litmos, if you want to go back and read more about it, how to access it, you can do that and also hear that as well. The outreach approval process to know up online is a mandatory, and senior. So senior, outreach approval, data collection, child nutrition, and budget calculator are going to be required courses. Okay. But again, I will send that to you in email when I send you your credentials to log in to Litmos. To be perfectly honest, this will probably happen Friday or Monday. I am kind of jammed up with other things I need to do right at the moment that were on my schedule for quite some time. But this will be probably likely Friday or Monday that you get, pardon me, you get your credentials in your list of courses. You'll have a due-by date on your courses. I will push that out for at least a few weeks, so you have a few weeks to work on this. You'll know exactly when your courses are due. I certainly want to look ahead to some other things that are happening in your schedule, so I give you a good length of time to complete your courses. So your course library will show all of that. Your home page, again, you're going to see courses listed here as well. We have some news over here, so if there's any news on here, you can read that. We don't update this very often. There's never going to be any kind of pressing news in here. Anything that's really important for you to know, you'll either get an email from me or certainly one of your program memos, etc. There's never going to be anything crucial in here, so you need not worry about checking this. You can go through and see what's in progress. If you have anything overdue, if you've not started, what you've completed. And in Litmos, there are multiple ways to do things, as we'll see. You'll also find here your achievements. This will tell you what you've completed, and you'll have a little learning badge there as well. Now we're going to go up. I'm going to go to the course library. Oh, by the way, you can go here for your achievements too. That's very important. And this is where you'll find your certificates to download. I kind of did that quickly, so I'm going to go back. So I'm at the home page. I go to achievements. And after I've completed a course, I will go here, and then I can download my certificate of completion. When you complete a course and you get your certificate and download it, make sure you scan that in and send it to your contract manager. You might want to give that to your supervisor as well, depending upon your protocol and where you work. But you definitely want to download it, scan it in, and send it to your supervisor. One thing to keep in mind with the certificates, because your results need to go to Litmos and be checked against the correct answers to your quizzes and make sure you have completed your entire modules, it doesn't necessarily appear right away to print. It could be, I found it, usually it's a couple of hours, but it could be up to 24 hours depending upon Litmos' server, basically, and how much they have processing. They're a big company, so it could take up to 24 hours for your certificate to download. But again, where you get it is achievements after you completed your course, and here's your certificate to download. Scan it and send it to your supervisor. Go home again. And on your home page, again, you'll have a representation, you'll have your news, you'll have your recent achievements, and what you can do is go either here, and I will go to, let's see, actually I'm going to go up here and grab one just so I can show you, just because it's easier for me to do it this way. Let's go to data collection and reporting. When you go in, you'll see a percentage, how much of this you have completed. It'll give you some information on the course. Here it'll say modules, and of course they're listed right here, your modules. Additional references is important. Additional references in some of these courses, especially data collection, under additional references, you'll see some additional documents that you can print out. These were in your packets if you were at the training in person. These are the definition of barriers, collaborations, and referrals that you had in your folder. But you can go here, you can print them out, they're Word documents, and they're companions to the module. So anytime you go into a course, click additional references just to see if there's anything else that you need to download just to have on hand as a supplement to the course. Again, achievements is just that, and your modules. Go back to your modules. Your courses will be divided, most of them, some of them into modules. Some of them are actually short, like child nutrition, so there's not really modules per se. And then you'll go through, and when you do a module, you'll get a check mark. It'll show for a quiz what your pass rate is, whether or not you actually passed. And the pass mark is 80%. And then it will show your score. When we get to a quiz, which I'm going to show you in a minute, I want to talk to you a little bit more about that pass mark. So you go into your module, and you could see I've already gone through this, so I click Start Over. You can go into these modules and go through them as many times as you like. Absolutely. Go in anytime. This is on a web platform, an internet platform, so you can go in just by logging in to Litmos, and I will let you know how to do that when I send your email. And also, something else I would recommend, when you go into Litmos for the first time, I would bookmark the page and put it in my favorites, whichever computer you have, favorites, whatever it's called, so that you can easily access it. I think that's really important to do that. So you go into a course. These courses right now do not have voiceover. At some point in the future they will. We are in the process of just making sure we have all the language exactly as we want it, and also obviously I need a voiceover to make that voiceover. So data collection reporting, and you'll just click through, and it will step you through the course. I'm going fast, which obviously you don't want to do. You want to go through slowly. If there's an introductory module to a course, please make sure you take that introductory module first. I'm actually going to go up here, and I'm going to click on Next Module, just so you can see it. This is your main target module. This goes over online, just like we did yesterday. It walks you through your main target, gives you definitions, talks about how you access it. And as I said, this is just what we did yesterday. So some of this will be familiar to you, but please still go through it slowly so that when you get to the quiz, you will be able to complete the quiz. Now, I'm going to go through here, click through here pretty quickly. And I want to show you something that's really important. In order to complete these modules, you have to click on every slide. At the end of every module, you'll see this. All right? You'll see a next module, etc. Make sure you have gone all the way to the end. If there's a purple next button, always click next, because it's not going to record the module complete unless you go through every slide, right? Every slide. So make sure there are no more next buttons. You can move forwards or backwards. You can review it as many times as you like. As I said, if you're in the middle of doing this and you get a phone call and you log out, Litmos will take you back exactly to the page where you were. Next module will take me to the quiz. Oops, I'm not going to do that one. I intentionally locked myself out of that one. All right. This is an example of what a module quiz will look like. You'll have something to answer, you'll have options, and then you'll move on to the next question. Right? For this, there's an 80% pass mark. As I said, you have to get 80%. But for example, this only has 3 questions. So if you miss one of the questions, you're not going to get 80% and pass. That's why I said, please take your time. Okay? And then go on, move to the next question. If you get here and you see that, well, I don't really know this, go back and review your module. Go to your book, go to your PowerPoint that you were given in order to get the answer. Again, you can take this quiz twice, and you can go through. You can look at the questions. All right, and then you can also obviously exit from there. If you didn't feel good about those quizzes, then you go back, review the module, and just exit out and go back and review the module again. Okay? So there's ways to go back. If you're not comfortable with those questions, the idea is to learn. Again, not to trip you up, not to give you any kind of high bar that you can't pass. It's a learning tool. It is totally a learning tool. Again, you could go back in and go to the module and start it and go through, like I said, and then you have to review your module again and take your quiz. 2 times before you're locked out. Should you get locked out, just let me know. I, however, will not unlock any modules until everybody who's assigned this time, the new NOPE coordinators, complete everything. Then I'll go back and unlock those modules for everybody to review. Because if I'm doing it at different points for different people, it's going to be impossible for me to tell who did what on their first assessment. So I wait till everybody's completed all the modules that are assigned, all the courses that are assigned, and then I will go back and unlock any module after that date of completion that you are given. So everybody gets the full time to go through, take the courses, and then I'll unlock some point after that, after I review everybody's results. If you have any problems logging in, if you have any problems understanding how to navigate through, just reach out to me. Okay, give me a call, send me an email, and just remember, there won't be a training emergency on this. I think the last time that I did this, I had somebody who actually had to go out sick or had an accident or something and couldn't complete it in time. These things happen. It's life. So don't know that there's no training emergency. I'm starting to feel a little bit better, but suppose I got sick that week that it was due. All your courses were due. Don't worry about it. No training emergency. We're very understanding that things happen. We absolutely shoot for the completion date for everybody, so everybody's on the same track, and I try to unlock it at the same time for everybody. But if there's something that happens, reach out to me and let me know, please. Okay. I'm going to go up here to exit. And we'll get back at any point you can exit. Then that'll take you back to here. You can always go home from there and move through the course. Up here, you can sign out. This is your profile and settings. That's where that information that you input will be stored, like your name, your title and your county borough served, for example. All right. So, and I'm going to go over here, I'm going to pull this out, and I'm going to look. I know we have at least one question. So now 1 minute, and I'm going to go through here. Let's see, the question is, if I want to review a course again, do I have to complete, again, the test? No, you do not. No, you do not. If you want to just go back in and review the modules, you can. Absolutely. You can go back in, review the modules, review the course at any time. Once you've completed the quizzes, whether or not you've completed the quizzes, you can go back in and check. You can do just as I did, and let me go back in here to a course again. And let me grab data collection again. And let's see, referral tab, I completed that. There's a little check mark, so I just go start over. And then I can take a look at that again. So after you've completed it, you can certainly go back. After you do it, you take the quiz, you can go back and review it anytime. Absolutely. And these will stay up. These live on Litmos. So if at any point you feel like you need a refresher, you can go back in at any time and take a look at any module, at any course. For the, feedback. Let me just say feedback. We don't use feedback right now. If you have feedback on the courses, please email or call me. Feedback is not in use at the time. This goes into the Litmos mail, and I don't check that all that often. So please don't use feedback. There's no way to disable it, unfortunately. So just reach out to me individually, whether at diana.hungersolutionsny.org or training@hungersolutionsny.org. Excellent. Go back home. I leave this up here so I can demonstrate it. That's why I have to click away from that every time. Let me see if we have any more questions. I'm not seeing any that are coming in. Again, I will send you your credentials. In other words, I will be sending you that email. And in that email, you'll have your username. You will create your own password. You'll put in some information. And in that email, you'll have your list of required courses. If you are a supervisor, you are not required to do this. Absolutely not. You may if you want to. And just reach out to me, again, if you're a supervisor, and I can set you up with credentials so that you can go in, you can take the courses, you can review them, and see what your NOAP coordinators are taking. Absolutely, I'll be very happy to do that. Again, you probably will not get those emails from me until Friday or Monday. We have staff meetings tomorrow and some other meetings, and Friday I have a number of things already on my schedule, but I will try to get this out Friday. If not, I will get that out to you Monday. If anybody has taken these courses already, and I know there's at least one person on here, if not more, who've already taken your courses, you can take the courses again if you want. Just let me know. You can take them, basically review, do the quizzes, etc. If you've taken them and you just want to go in and look at them again, you're all set to do that. Use your password and your username that you had before in your emails. Just go on in and review them anytime you want. For those of you who have not done this before, I will be sending you, as I said, your credentials and an email, an explanatory email with everything that everything you need to know, including what's required in terms of taking the courses. Again, no training emergencies. Don't worry if you're not getting these done super fast, or if you have something that takes you out of the office. We do have a due by date that I will send you. I try to hold hard and fast to that so it's fair to everyone. But if you do have some kind of emergency that takes you out of the office, please let me know. Okay? With that, I'm just going to wait one more second for questions to see if anybody else has any questions. And I do not see any questions, more questions coming in at this point. If you think of anything post-training, reach out to me. I'll be happy to answer questions. And since it doesn't look like there are any, thank you all for joining the webinar. Take the courses, take your time, know that it's another way to learn, and I look forward to talking to you on our next webinar, and also maybe getting to see you in person at the conference as well. So have a great day, and we're getting some better weather. It's a little warmer weather, so I think that'll make all of us feel a little bit happier, a little bit brighter. All right, everybody, take care, and I will talk to you soon. Have an awesome rest of the day. Thanks, guys.